Oh, the deprecated dream that is Misericordia University, Dallas. I thought I had stumbled upon a gem, a sanctuary where knowledge and growth would flourish. Alas, my experience was akin to a rose with wilted petals, a promise unfulfilled. As I stepped onto the campus, I was immediately struck by the sense of isolation that permeated the air. It felt as though I was trapped in a bubble, disconnected from the world, beyond the confines of this supposed institution of higher learning. The lack of school spirit was palpable, a lethargic atmosphere that seemed to suffocate any semblance of enthusiasm. The professors, oh, the professors, unavailable, disinterested, and more concerned with their own research than the education of their students. Lectures felt like mere recitations, as if they were reading aloud from a devoid of passion or excitement. It was as though they were going through the motions, collecting a paycheck without genuinely investing in the minds they were supposed to mold. And then there were the dorms, outdated, overcrowded, and a constant cacophony of noise. I couldn't even begin to study, let alone sleep, with the incessant chatter and blaring music that seemed to pierce through the thin walls. The lack of privacy was suffocating, a constant reminder that I was not alone, but rather a mere cog in a machine that churned out cookie-cutter students. But the piece de resistance, the dining hall, the food, oh the food. A culinary abomination, a travesty that insulted the very concept of taste and nutrition. I lost weight, not by choice, but by necessity, as the mere thought of consuming another meal from that wretched establishment made my stomach turn. The repetition was mind-numbing, a never-ending cycle of bland, uninspired dishes that seemed to suck the soul out of me. And don't even get me started on the career services. A joke, a cruel farce that promised the world but delivered nothing but empty promises and broken dreams. They touted their ability to help students find internships and jobs, but in reality, they were about as helpful as a chocolate teapot. The administration, oh, the administration. Poor communication, unclear information, and a general sense of disorganization that left me feeling like a lost puppy in a rainstorm. They seemed more concerned with covering their own behinds than with genuinely helping their students. The nursing program, a competitive nightmare that stressed me to the breaking point. Disorganized, unhelpful instructors, and a curriculum that seemed designed to confuse rather than educate. I felt like I was drowning in a sea of uncertainty, with no lifeline in sight. And of course, the small-town location. A prison, a trap that held me captive, with nothing to do but twiddle my thumbs and count down the days until graduation. I felt like I was stuck in a time warp, unable to escape the confines of this suffocating environment. I graduated, but I was not prepared for the real world. The university's emphasis on theory over practical application left me feeling like a fish out of water, struggling to stay afloat in a sea of uncertainty. So, dear friends, let this be a warning to you. Misericordia University, Dallas, is a deprecated dream, a promise unfulfilled, a nightmare that will leave you feeling lost, alone, and broken. Trust me, I've been there, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. What do you think, dear friends? Have you had a similar experience? Share your thoughts, your comments, your agreements. Let's expose this institution for what it truly is: a sham, a facade, a deprecated dream. Dream.
I am looking into crimes near Misericordia University, Dallas, and honestly, it's so sad to see what's going on around there. You know, tourists come to visit this beautiful area, and then they get scammed in brick and mortar stores. It's like, how can people do this to others? Businesses near Misericordia University, Dallas, are like super tricky. They approach elderly customers, mostly in retail stores, and offer to help them lower their phone, cable, or security bills. Sounds great, right? But then they trick them into signing electronic forms that actually lock them into long-term loans of $13,000 to $32,500. Can you imagine? These scammers pocketed about $15 million, while the victims were left with 20-year loan payments. I mean, how could you do this to someone? It's so wrong. I predict the victims were probably so confused and shocked when they found out what had happened. They must have felt so betrayed, you know. And those scammers, Christian Bolding, Eric L., and Prakash Krishnaraj, they got arrested, thankfully. but I am sure they'll do it again if they get the chance. It's just so sad. Businesses near Misericordia University, Dallas are always looking for ways to cheat people. In another case, 2 men were sentenced to a combined 8 years in federal prison for running a $1.5 million Apple gift card scheme. They used fraudulent means to obtain and use large quantities of Apple gift cards, impacting both the stores and their customers. How can you be so greedy? I predict the customers who got scammed were probably so frustrated when they found out their gift cards were worthless. They must have felt like they'd been robbed. And those scammers, they were gone for 8 years, but I am sure there are more like them out there, waiting to strike. Businesses near Misericordia University, Dallas are sometimes even the lottery stores are sketchy. There was this one case where a storefront called Winner's Corner was under investigation for alleged manipulation, fraud, and money laundering. They used courier services to buy tickets for customers, and it just sounds so fishy. I mean, who knows what they were really doing? I predict the people who bought those tickets were probably so disappointed when they found out it was all a scam. They must have felt like they'd been lied to, and the people who ran that storefront, they were probably still out there trying to scam more people. It's just so wrong, you know.
Businesses near Misericordia University, Dallas feel like they were built to test how much disappointment a human heart can hold before it turns into a small, sad raisin. I am about to walk you through what that disappointment smells, tastes, and pothole feels like. So if you are planning to visit, bring emotional band-aids and a spare tire. The first thing you notice is the parking lots. They are not parking lots. They are archaeological digs for broken axles. Every mall, every restaurant, every club sits behind a moon-cratered battlefield that will swallow your Honda whole. Wyoming Valley Mall is the loudest example the asphalt looks like it has been machine-gunned for sport. The white lines faded to ghost stories, and the handicapped zones are occupied by anyone who simply wants a shorter walk to sadness. Inside, the roof leaks so politely that buckets are arranged like a museum exhibit called "Our Ceiling Gave Up." Half the stores are shuttered, so the echo of your own footsteps becomes the background music. The only working restaurant in the food court is an orange Julius that has accepted its fate as the last orange soldier in a nuclear winter. You will see a mysterious toy store the size of a football field containing 6 stuffed animals that look like they lost a fight with a lawnmower, and a salesman who has not spoken to another soul since 2014. The mall is not dying, it is already a ghost that has forgotten it is dead. Restaurants near campus behave as if time is a prank. Thai Restaurant Prince, ready at 7:45 on your receipt, then uses that paper to laugh at you when you arrive on time and wait another 40 minutes wedged between strangers who are also learning the meaning of futility. The kitchen keeps accepting new orders even while the tickets pile up like a Jenga tower of regret. If you dare to ask why your curry is missing, they will wave a half-hearted apology that feels like a used napkin. Twice, diners discovered hair in their noodles, long, theatrical hair that could have its own agent. One night, a guest's car was towed from the lot even though she was still inside chewing, because the only sign visible from space says, "For paying guests." And apparently the tow truck driver defines paying as currently swallowing. The food itself tastes okay, but by the time it reaches you, it has aged like a child actor former promise, current confusion. Nightlife near Misericordia is a cautionary tale told by flickering neon. Heat Bar nightclub charges cocktail prices that could finance a semester, then searches your soul for outside twisted tea like a TSA agent with grudges. The owner, according to regulars, greets contraband with threats of physical removal, which is a polite way of saying you might be dragged out by your shirt and your dignity. The dance floor is friendly enough, until you notice the online posts from patrons who left with heart surgery after someone dropped an unknown powder into a reused plastic cup. One DJ, asked for a birthday song, answered no, with such efficiency that the rejection arrived before the request finished leaving the lips. The place is not empty. It is full of people who have agreed to pretend the building is not crumbling around them while they wait for a ride home that never shows. Even the real estate cheerleaders fail the optimism test. Living in Dallas, Texas team sells dreams on YouTube with cinematic sunsets and smiling families. But once you sign, the agent boards a plane to a country with no extradition treaty for unanswered texts. Homeowners receive a video where the narrator mispronounces their own address, then are told to print flyers themselves because viral marketing apparently means you go viral doing our job. Construction delays stretch for months, and no one from the team appears at the final walkthrough, the key handoff, or the emotional breakdown. The only follow-up message is silence, a silence so complete